Back home, the Northern Territory's new Aboriginal Advancement Minister says the latest report on services in remote communities shows the gap is not being closed. The annual report from the Coordinator General for Remote Services calls for more transparency and accountability for the billions of dollars spent in communities.
The Coordinator General for Remote Services advises the Northern Territory Government about service delivery in bush communities. The first report by Olga Havnen criticises both the federal and territory governments for failing to provide verifiable results. Ms Havnen says an absence of reliable and transparent data make it difficult to work out whether the myriad of programs are meeting their objectives. The new Territory Government says the report shows the Commonwealth is not closing the gap between Indigenous and non-Indigenous Australians.
Minister for Indigenous, Jenny Macklin, runs around and says that, definitely there's some closing the gap. Well, like I said, she lives in La La Land if she thinks that she's closed the gap on Aboriginal disadvantage. It's actually widening.
But a spokeswoman for Indigenous Affairs Minister Jenny Macklin says the Australian government has made unprecedented investments to help close the gap in the Territory. On another front, the Territory government has confirmed a builder's insurance scheme will begin next year.
The Country Liberals are still very committed to ensure that this legislation is enacted and basically that the regulations are in place.
The Master Builders Association was worried the scheme passed by the previous government wouldn't be introduced. The government has also confirmed Parks and Wildlife headquarters will be relocated from the top end to Alice Springs.
I can confirm that there will be a small number of staff moving from the Palmerston office to Alice Springs, but my understanding the majority of Parks and Wildlife staff are actually out in our parks.
There's no emphasis on, how this will affect not only the public servants but the people that are public servants, their families, their lives.
The government can't say how many people will be moved, but says no one will be forced to go. Michael Coggan, ABC News.